If you remember back to 2021 when Ange Postecoglou came into Celtic, a lot of people were saying, who is he and what has he done in the game? The Celtic manager has spoken about the fact that Michael Beale called him lucky. Chris Sutton has been hauled over the coals for calling Beale ball football. We'll talk about that in a second. Tony Ralston has went to Instagram, and what did the referee say to one of the Celtic players during the game, and a story about a forgotten goalkeeper. This is one of the most bizarre stories that you'll ever hear today. All in today's Celtic FC news. So, Ange Postecoglou is adamant that 25 years of hard work is what's taken him and taken his Celtic team on the cusp of landing a domestic treble in his second season in charge. It says the notion of luck should never enter the conversation. If you've seen the interview after the game at the weekend, he did say that he knows the narrative in Glasgow. He says his all-conquering side. He says the Australian went on to say, he says, let's just face facts. He says, I was relatively unknown. He says, but I've also won and had success in my homeland. He's also won and had success in Japan, where he won the J League in 2019. He's also guided Australia in 2014 to the World Cup. He says that paved the way for him getting the Celtic job. Speaking directly in the aftermath of the game, he said the term lucky is the term used by counterpart Michael Beale back in December when talking about budgets. He says it's the terminology that shouldn't actually have been used. He says, did it annoy me? No. Did it motivate me? No. But I think people used it as a kind of language deliberately. Postecoglou went on to say in his comments that his tenure at Celtic, he would never use language like that to describe anybody in the game. He says, I'm not sure which bit is luck. I think Michael at the time was referring to the money I had to spend. I don't know. I didn't get it. I didn't get to this position, Ange Postecoglou says, out of luck. He said, I've worked 25 years of coaching to be entrusted at this club. He said, this isn't my first job. Maybe if it was my first job, I'd be lucky. But it's 25 years of hard luck, the Celtic manager went on to say. He says, and I have spent that money, I can't get it wrong. One of the things that Ange Postecoglou did say, I don't think Michael is in a lucky position just because he's at that club, which have more resources than other club in Scotland. I know he has to work hard if he's going to be successful the same way I have. But Michael Beale's football is Beale ball. And talking about Beale ball, Chris Sutton was hauled over the coals by none other than Mitchell Richards, whoever he is. The highlight of his career was getting bird flu. Anyway, most bizarre thing ever to get. Anyway, let's move on from that. Cameron Carter-Vickers had a brilliant game. He called him a warrior, says Sutton. And he says, maybe we'll see the real Rangers next time. Hashtag BealeBall. Anthony Ralston also took to Instagram, took to social media on a cracking picture of him hitting the ball against Cantwell. And he took to Instagram to basically say, yep, cracking day at the office and love it. Fans unreal. See you in the final. And talking about being in the final, what did Don Robertson say to Matt O'Reilly after the Jota goal? Matt O'Reilly was obviously at the time was protesting for a free kick. The Rangers player stopped. The amazing guy, bald guy on the wing, grabbed the ball, tamed the ball, quick crossover, and the rest was history. Jota came in at the back post. He says, but the referee says to him, he says, if I'd given you the free kick, you wouldn't have scored the goal, basically. And that's it. That is it. It's easy as that. We wouldn't have scored that goal. But never mind, because maybe we got across and it's all maybes and ifs and buts, who cares? Talking about ifs, buts and who cares, this is one of the craziest stories you will hear about a forgotten Celtic goalkeeper. Yep, Barkas is hitting headlines for all the craziest reasons. The Greek keeper was a disaster at Celtic, let's face it. His £4.5 million transfer from AIK Athens almost 3 years ago. But he quietly was shipped out on loan to Dutch club Utrecht in the summer. I can remember going to Utrecht back in the 90s, went to a rave there. Totally off subject, but at that time we had to get a flight from Glasgow down to London to Amsterdam, and then a train from Amsterdam into Amsterdam Central, Amsterdam to Utrecht, and then we've done the exact same trip again 12 hours later after the rave. Mental. Anyway, moving on. Is it been a revelation in Holland, it's been said, and the Utrecht manager Michael Silberbler has said that it's difficult. It's a difficult position that we're in. We want to turn the loan move into a permanent one, but we are struggling to reach an agreement with Celtic for a transfer fee. I thought Celtic would be easy to deal with. He then went on to say that we're struggling to get to this deal because there's other clubs also interested after his successful season. Not least because there are now other clubs also interested after his successful season. Is this the same man that played for Celtic? Anyway, look out for the next video, because I'm going to have even more updates and Celtic news for you in just a couple of hours. I'll see you on the next video.
Roll up to the party, roll up to the party.